At one of the most famous antique dealers in Paris, Philipp von WÄ×rttemberg is looking at examples of fine 18th century furniture. Von WÄ×rttemberg is a furniture expert, and he's on the board of directors at Sotheby's in Europe. His job at the auction house often sees him traveling to root out interesting objets d'art or even whole art collections. He lived in Paris for 4 years, building up Sotheby's business in the city. Now he's back living in Germany, but his work means that he's in Paris at least once a week. Sotheby's is gearing up for an important auction, the sale of the collection of industrialist Léon Lévy. The buyer's preview goes on for 5 days prior to the auction.
Standing in front of a piece like this, you'd rather buy it yourself. Working in this business, you have a lot of passion, and you pass it on to the client. All of us here are collectors deep down, but we can't buy everything we'd like to. This piece is worth around 600 to 800,000 euros.
The collection includes spectacular pieces from the 18th century, which have never before been seen in public. Von WÄ×rttemberg is the auctioneer for the sale. Beforehand, he learns all there is to learn about every piece. Buyers from all over the world are expected.
This group of buyers is global. They'll be coming from all over the world for this auction, whether we hold it in Paris, London, or New York. They'd even come if we held it on the moon.
As yet, Sotheby's hasn't held an auction on the moon, but Paris has been chosen for good reasons. This city attracts wealthy people and offers lots of art. Von WÄ×rttemberg handles the most important clients personally, such as Patrick Mauboussin. The jeweler is well known as a Sotheby's client and has also sold pieces through the auction house. Marketing and acquisition is a large part of von WÄ×rttemberg's job.
With German clients, you tend to meet in their office and have a talk over a coffee or a glass of water. But the French love all the stuff around a sale. They like to be taken care of, to live life well. That's really French.
Turnover at Sotheby's Paris is on the up. 85 million euros in the first half of the year. Von WÄ×rttemberg was the first non-Frenchman to work as an auctioneer here. A meeting about the sale of the Léon Lévy collection. The success of the auction is not a sure thing. 18th century art and furniture are not in fashion. Much depends on the skill of the auctioneer.
Practice makes perfect, also for auctioneers. I'm sure my first few auctions were terrible, but once I had the experience of a 5-day auction, then everything fell into place. It starts to become fun, and you begin to really enjoy it.
It's the evening of the sale and the room is packed. Sotheby's staff man the telephones taking bids from buyers, some of whom want to remain anonymous. The atmosphere is positive, and unexpectedly, prices start to quickly rise. On average, buyers tend to have to reckon on paying 20% above the bid price to secure a piece. This 20% is profit for the auction house. 950,000 euros, the latest bid for 3 vases, and the price is still going up. There are many private bidders here. Von WÄ×rttemberg is pleased.
It shows that in the midst of the financial crisis, people are still willing to pay for quality. We estimated the collection at 6 million euros, and we've seen around 12 million bid. Out of 70 lots, there were only 3 or 4 that did not make the reserve price and were not sold. It couldn't have gone better. I'm very happy.
12 million euros changing hands in 2 hours. An outstanding evening for Sotheby's Paris. Philipp von WÄ×rttemberg doesn't have time for champagne. There's a taxi waiting to whisk him away to his next appointment. But he'll be back in Paris in a few days. Sotheby's is already planning its next auction, and it will include furniture again.